Alright, so what is going on, guys? Welcome to another Garden Warfare 2 video. Today is another ability comparison video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the All-Stars input and long bomb. If you do enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like down below, and also comment what abilities you would like me to compare next week as well. And as always, if you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe, and also if you do want to follow me on Twitter, the link is down in the description. That's the best place for you to know what I'm getting up to, get in contact with me if you have any questions, and just generally see what I am doing. So the social media links are always down in the description. Make sure you go and check them out. But anyway, let's get into with today's video. So first off, let's take a look at the descriptions of these abilities. The input says, when in doubt, punt an exploding imp. What's the worst that could happen? And the long bomb says, simply put, ... The only thing more damaging than an imp loaded with explosives is an imp who thinks he can fly. Some conditions apply. So the difference between these two abilities is the input is kind of pushed along the floor, and the long bomb is kind of kicked slightly into the air. So it has a little bit more height and maybe distance with the long bomb, but the input is very good in crowd control, especially if you are going to an objective. The input is definitely where you would want to use that ability. Now let's take a look at the cooldown time of these abilities. What I mean by this is, once you've used the ability, how long do you need to wait before you can use the ability again? And there's actually no difference between these two abilities. Both the input and the long bomb take 20 seconds to recharge, so you can use one of these abilities every 20 seconds. So there's no advantage or disadvantage to either of these abilities in how long it takes for the ability to recharge. As for the damage between the input and the long bomb is very similar, if not exactly the same. Now it's hard to actually judge how much damage the input and the long bomb actually do directly, because it all depends on how far away the explosion is from the plant. If you are very close, you're going to do a high amount of damage. If you're a little bit further away, you're going to do a medium amount of damage. And if you're at the very limit of where the explosion is going to damage the plants, you're not going to do much damage at all to the plants. But I feel the damage between the input and the long bomb is very similar, if not exactly the same. So if the input explodes right next to the plant and then the long bomb explodes right next to a plant, they will do the same damage. The question is, which ability is better and which ability wants to be used when? Well, I would say that the answer to that is personally how you play as a character. They both seem very similar. They both have the same recharging time. They both seem to do around the same amount of damage, but it depends how you play as an all-star. If you're going right into the action all of the time, then the input is going to be better for you. If there's a few plants right in front of you, you can kick this input out. It's going to push the plants back, it's going to explode, and hopefully get a few vanquishes. Whereas if you play as the all-star, where you're kind of at medium range, where you're a little bit further back, if you use the input, it's not going to get to the plant. So that's where the long bomb is going to come into play. You're going to be able to kick it over some objectives or some obstacles, and you are going to be able to explode a few imps. Now the only thing that makes the long bomb a little bit more difficult is you need to judge how far away the plant is, and if the long bomb's going to either overshoot the plant or it's going to not get to them. It's not going to get close enough to them. So that's one of the things that you do have to judge if you want to use the long bomb. But overall, I think both of these abilities are really good. From the way I play, I personally prefer the input, but I do enjoy the long bomb as well. I tend to try and get as close as I possibly can to the plants, because that's when the all-star does deal the most amount of damage. You can also sprint tackle them, so I do tend to use the input more than the long bomb. But overall, both of these abilities are very identical. It all depends on how you play as the all-star. Let me know what you think about these abilities in the comment section down below, and like I did say earlier on, leave a comment as well of what abilities you would like me to compare next time on an ability comparison video. If you did enjoy it as well, make sure you do leave a like, and hopefully I'll catch you guys next time.